So, everyone wants to know my backstory about when I attended acting school. So, to remind all of you and those who are watching, I want to tell all of you that in advance that I am not backlashing the school. I'm not, hating the school. I love that school. It's just there hit or miss that I really liked about the school and those I don't like about it. And to remind all of you again, this is totally my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. And those who attended the school with me, please remind you that I don't hate the school in general when you guys were there with me. I just think, in my opinion, and this is an opinion and my own point of view, how I feel because I don't feel like I'm a judging person. I just feel like the school could at least do better, but instead of me rambling on, I want to tell you guys those are new and want my opinion and of course my advice about going to attend acting school. Just to remind again, just to say this right now, if you guys want to particularly attend this particular school or just acting school in general, just hear me out. You're gonna be hearing a lot of criticism coming from me and maybe from a few others. So let's get to it, alright? So, as I attend acting school, it's like practically a private school because it's never like legitimately, publicly advanced for people in the public per se, right? This is more like for people who are like have that status of being could be a celebrity or director or whoever this appeals to anybody, right? This school had a few actors in this school who became professors, and there are a few of them who I admire the most because they helped me a lot throughout my progress of becoming a successful YouTuber like I am today. So, as I get used to this program, this acting school, I realized that it's going to take a lot of practice, a lot of hard work, and a ton of memorization of the lines, whatever they give the assignment to you. So, as you begin to understand, to wonder about, and try to figure out which class you're going to do next, the first thing I went to, the first class I go to was Acting 101. And this particular teacher I admire so much. He is a cancer survivor. He totally, is always on board on things. He's always guiding me. And of course, every time I felt like I was an outcast or I felt like I was never fit in, he would always sit by me to figure out what the issue was. He would always give me advice and tell me to calm down, don't worry about it. And he's the person that's almost like a counselor, but more like he knows what I'm dealing with, right? So I admire him. Not only I never seen his work before, but I seen him in a few pilot episodes here and there. So I want to thank him for giving me so much confidence and energy. And it's the same thing going to Acting 102, which is a similar section, but more like it's kind of like advanced per se, but more on like another level step up kind of say, right? She's the same way as him. She helped me on the same route. She helped me make sure I memorize my lines. She always asked me a lot of questions. She's always guiding me. And it's like a contrast between those two that they want to help me succeed, which I really admire so much because it helped me be more comfortable within how I speak, how I talk to people, how to socialize. The list goes on, right? As I progress, I move into different classes as well within that circle of that realm is voice and speech. Voice and speech is really, really helpful for those who want to like progress their voice and know where they're aiming at, and they will teach you different volumes of how you speak, which really blew my mind because when it comes to doing a movie or even a theater, you need to know how to project your voice within the diaphragm and up to project through your volume how you speak and how you talk directly to people or how well it is. And of course, what I didn't know about is how good your pitch is. And it really fascinated me because two of my teachers really blew my mind that I didn't know that each of our voices have a pitch to it based on the volume. So if you go like too monotone, people won't barely hear you, and if you don't speak clearly, it will go directly to like a straight line. And if you raise your volume up, or you're going to raise your volume down, or you're doing it like in between, you have to do your best to like project your voice to have better volume. So that blew my mind. And what's fun about it is that you get to learn how to speak in different volumes and project based on your emotions. And you start practicing different lines from commercials or script from a movie. And it really is fascinating, what to learn about. And two teachers show me that, and one of them is a male, one is a female, and I gotta say those two really guide me a lot. So I appreciate those two. The next one I gotta say was kind of like iffy in my say, because there were like a couple of teachers that really, really made me upset and not give me that kind of motive of what I should do in life. This one is more regarding towards movement, and I'm not saying that I'm stiff. I'm not showing enough movement, but it's like kind of confusing per se, because when it comes to learning about movement, you gotta learn how to move your hands, your whole entire body. It's like very confusing, and in my opinion, my own point of view, it's like they're not showing like specifically how to move it. I know they're trying to show it step by step, but it's more like what am I supposed to do? Because remind you, like half of the class sessions was both in person and it was also on Zoom. So like it was kind of like confusing and not understandable, because some of these, you know, classes didn't like specify, and that kind of upset me, because I was saying like, okay, do I move my hand like this, like I'm touching a light bulb, or am I supposed to like look at someone touching my chin or something? Am I supposed to curtsy? Like, what am I supposed to do exactly? You know what I mean? Because I'm not new to it. Some of my classmates, so-called friends, know, because they have more advantage, because they know probably what they're doing. For me, it's like, okay, so do I have to walk a certain way, like I'm walking on the moon, or do I, like, what do I do exactly? It's just that confusing. I'm not upset what the teachers are not showing me. It's just that me, as a young woman on the spectrum, I don't know any of these things. I just got into the building. I want to know more of it. You're not showing me, so give me more details. I need more information, because I need to know what's going on. And I do try to ask questions, right? Because that's what every class is supposed to be doing. Like, if by the end of the day, you practically want to ask questions, right? But you decide to like walk away, which that kind of upsets me. So other than that, moving towards learning about the whole film history in general. Film history, it's a mixture of I don't like it mixed with I like it. So I'm gonna say that the reason why I'm saying those mixtures is because I do like to learn the history of the film, but entirely it's such a miss. And the reason why I say the big miss per se is because the teacher was not as helpful as he's supposed to be. I get it, like he wants us to focus on the film and everything, he wants us to take notes, which that's what I did, right? I grabbed my binder or my notebook, I try to take notes as fast as possible as he can. I try to ask questions, I raise my hand, like mostly, and some of the students get it, I got it, but sometimes when it comes to the exam, right? I just felt like it's mind boggling, because some of these questions, based on what we learned, is not based on what we learned so far. So I don't get that. We're trying to learn all film history, right? So correct me if I'm wrong, because when I'm trying to like answer the correct questions, some of them are like mixed together, some of them don't make any sense, and I try to ask the teacher like, is this was on the book? Because I didn't get that. And he said, "Oh yeah, it's in the book. It's in the book. You gotta like study, blah blah." And it's like I did, but why does it all look funny? And when I get my test answers back, like he immediately failed me. Like what the heck, Like why did you fail me? And I try to compare answers to my friends or my classmates, And it was like, whoa, what's going on? Is this something, is this kind of a joke where they got the answers right when I got it wrong? Like, what the heck is that all about? You know? So you rather give them the special treatment because they're familiar with the material when clearly for me it's like, am I missing something? I'm not saying that, my friends are getting special treatment. I'm just saying it just playing the unfair game where people know the material because they grew up knowing theater and movies when clearly I'm new to it because I, was intern in Silvercup Studios when clearly I hardly know much about it. So you don't give people a chance, and that's what it felt like to me, you know. And the other situation was right. There was another movement class which I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher it. I just know for a fact that entering this studio, right, that you had to like hit the floor with your heel and remind all of you that when you're doing this particular movement class, I don't know what kind of movement it is. It's just so stupid. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm learning from this. I don't know what it's supposed to be exactly. I don't know if actors literally do this per se, but it makes no sense, right? And then again, he will make us say a line from Macbeth, and all of a sudden, it's like you had to memorize it and everything else. It's like how I can remember all this in one day? I don't have a mind like a sponge. I can't memorize all this in one shot. Maybe some can, but not me, because I'm gonna tell you the truth, you guys, I'm very slow in memorizing certain things, but technically it's just not fair on his part to criticize me for not understanding, and then he'll get all offensive and say try to remember it again. It's like you wrote down in the blackboard and all of a sudden you just want us to remember all this. It's like you don't let us practice before the exam, you know what I'm saying, you guys? Because I know it's a private school, but it's like you can at least give kids a chance, or these young adults a chance to know all these things ahead of time. And the situation with the bathroom thing, it's like, okay, the rules, in the bottom of the syllabus, right, says like, oh, you can't use the bathroom during class, which that really irritated me because recall that some people who had to use the bathroom, really badly, and all of a sudden the teachers gets all hysterical because oh they think that students take a long time, they're socializing, they're doing something. It's like what, we can't socialize, after class or figure out if we can use a bathroom? Are you kidding me? We're not little kids. We're not going to scream or throw a tantrum. But then again, you're like, oh, if you had to use the bathroom, you gotta wait till class is over, or if there's a session going on, you had to wait outside. What is that? I don't get it. It makes no sense. I just feel like it's mind-boggling. Another thing too is getting back to the film history. Look, I'm not backlashing the teacher alone, but I just feel like he's kind of cold-hearted when it comes to when I had an incident when I was trying to do a film project with a group of my classmates, and then there was a situation where my classmate, my friend, who was attacked by a homeless guy, right, who had his nose broken, bleeding everywhere, and my Turkish scarf, right, that I got from Turkey, right, and all of a sudden I saw so much blood, and all of a sudden my friend was being dragged and got his pinky nail ripped off, and don't want to get into details, but it was so terrifying that I had my whole body trembling because I was so shaken up, and it really upsetted me. And then when I submit my film movie, whatever I did so far, the teacher was like, okay, is that it? What happened to your presentation? And he doesn't specify on the syllabus that there should be a slideshow. He doesn't be specific. And that really irritated me. And all of a sudden he has to write on this little note saying that, oh, you didn't know the material and all this crap. And it's like, dude, I don't know what you want. My friend just recently got attacked. You're supposed to be happy that we already did the film project. I'm confused on what you want. I thought that was a presentation. You didn't say nothing about a freaking slideshow. Get a grip, alright? Just because everyone else knew what it was. I know what a slideshow is. I know what a presentation is. It's like a slideshow. But at the same time, I was so traumatized that my friend got beat up, and all of a sudden I didn't realize that I had to do all the work. That's really upset me. You don't bother asking them to do a slideshow. I don't know. You didn't say nothing about slideshows. Well, why couldn't nobody tell me about it? And that's why I don't try to like get angry about this, you guys. I just think that when it comes to doing a presentation, I thought in my mind, and I'm telling you the truth, that I thought it was just presenting the film project. That's it. Nothing about a slideshow. Like seriously, it makes no sense. And why do I have to do all the work? Why can't you ask one of them to do a slideshow? Why is it always me? Like you always throwing the blame on me. I don't like that. We're doing this as a group. Why does everything have to be put on me? And that's what upset me. And other than that, the only thing that really entertained me throughout my film acting school is when I did Meisner and improv. Those two, I really find it very entertaining because I got to like experiment on how I project my emotions and show so much interesting things based on repeating the same thing with what my friends or my classmates are saying because it's really funny. I wish I filmed it to show you guys. I just felt like it was really fun to like show that. And when it comes to improv, we get to like play acting games like Zip, Zap, Zoom, that kind of thing. And of course, we get to like we try not to like make any jokes and we try to like do some entertaining things of what we are. And I have tons and tons of books about these kind of things, and maybe that could help you too, right? And I gotta say, mostly half of the teachers I enjoyed being with. It was so much fun because they really socialize a lot. They really help my acting, progress, and of course, they really helped me boost my confidence in showing that I can do so much better and one day in the future become, a successful blogger, which I am today, and I'm proud of that. The only thing I can say, only the doubts, only the negativity, which I mentioned before, is that some of these teachers tend to like get all hysterical. Like for instance, another thing too, like when we were in a stage when it comes to like performing in front of people, like more students and more of the president of the school, which I don't freaking want to like mention him because he is not really motivating in my book because I just felt like he was not as helpful. Just because he got me and doesn't mean anything to me because I just felt like he should be at least sympathetic of what's going on behind the scenes and understand that if a student really has a stressful day or gone through a lot, he can at least show some courtesy that this person has gone through a lot, like he or she or whatever they gone through, they should at least be understandable. I have nothing against the man. I just think I'm happy he got me in, but at the same time, he can at least be considerate and be more understandable, not be that cold-hearted. That's what I don't like about people. And then for getting back to that professor I said about, there's two more teachers that have that kind of mentality of being cold-hearted. Like I can understand. Okay, look, during the time when we were in the pandemic, right? And as we were like getting tested and all this, and when we finally get back to school, and then they had to make us wear masks, I gotta say this right now, and don't quote me on context. I'm letting you guys know I have nothing against mask wearing or whatever you want to call it. I'm just sick and tired of wearing it when I was performing because you know why? Because it was hindering my thoughts. Because it was jeopardizing me memorizing my lines. Because it really affected my thinking. And if you guys tell me in the comment section, oh, why couldn't you just take it off? I couldn't take it off, you guys. I'm sorry, but hear me out. No matter how I wanted to take that thing off, I really wanted to so I can think clearly and perform better, and maybe I could at least get a better grade because I couldn't stand the professor who was such really aggravates the heck out of me because he is so inconsiderate and thinking that he's above everyone else. I just didn't like it just because you worked in so many gosh darn commercials and you're never giving good feedback. You just like to like give harsh criticism and make someone cry when clearly they just work so much and they dealt with a lot of things in life. Why couldn't you just be considerate and say, look, I understand the mass is hindering what you're speaking. I know you're trying. You know, don't just give a stupid, attitude saying that, oh, did you memorize your lines correctly? Why are you, skimming through lines? I didn't skim through lines, you idiot. Alright? I am going through a lot. I'm wearing this thing out because you want me to wear it on, right? Because apparently it is part of protocol, right? I'm trying to make sure you don't get sick. Apparently, since that's what you're saying, right? But what I'm trying to tell you is it's really hindering me on my focus. It's really irritating me for me to not memorize my lines correctly. You can't blame me for that. All right? And every time you keep saying, "Oh, you're being muffled, you're being muffled." Oh, I'm sorry. It's because of this thing on I have in my face. That's why my voice is muffled. Because you can barely hear me. Maybe some people can do it better because they can speak clearly, but me, I cannot. You know? And at least we have some consideration knowing that I'm not trying to, forget my lines. If it's just one line, dude, it's just one line. It's not going to kill anybody. You know? At least I asked, what my line is. At least you gave that option, At least I showed that. But at the same time, you're just being so inconsiderate. And it was like, you're just becoming a jerk for crying out loud because you think that you're above everyone else. You know? And I had to have my friend to tell him, like, look, I'm trying my best here. And he's trying to defend me, saying, like, look, she's trying, just give her a chance, alright? But then again, it's like he has to be above the law. He has to be, everything, on top. But it's like, sir, I'm trying my best, alright? I'm a beginner in acting. What more do you want from me? That's how I feel like, But other than that, you guys, I'm sorry to sound angry here, but this is how in acting school is. You're gonna have a group of teachers. Some are gonna be nice with you. Some are not gonna be nice with you. They're gonna be acting like morons, like this one that did to me, and everyone else. But I gotta say that you're gonna hear a lot of criticism nowadays. You're gonna be hearing a lot of, positivity and negativity, and sometimes it's gonna be all combined together. And I gotta say that half of it I did have a good time because I got to like make new friends and interact with new teachers. One of the other cases, I just don't like how teachers mistreated me and they take things for advantage and this and that. Alright? So, you guys want to hear my advice in acting school if you want to go or not? My suggestion is don't go to this particular acting school if you really put your life into it. Because the tuition, I gotta say, it costs around, per se, I gotta check the tuition because I don't want to like butcher the price range. I can tell it probably costs maybe around, per se, like 12,000 or more, depending on how much money you want to spend. Because I gotta say that acting school do cost a lot of money. That's all I can say for now because it's gonna cost you that much. But if you want to attend, I gotta say, go for it if you want to fulfill your dreams. And if you want to go to the school I went to, my suggestion is if you want to, put your life through it, I don't mind. I just think that, once you enter the building, yes, the secretary may, give you a nice good morning. Just be nice with her. She's a really nice lady. It's just that when it comes to meeting the teachers, some of them, once you get along with them, they will be nice with you. And if you move on towards the people who think are nice, just be careful how they're going to give you criticism. You know what I mean? Because you're going to move into different sections here and there. So keep an eye on that. Alright? And my advice for anyone that wants to be an actor or voice actor or just being a VTuber or whatever you want to be on YouTube, just be happy with what you have, and of course, have good equipment, know the technology, and always practice, practice, practice. Don't give up, alright? And if you guys really want to know in the comment section, the textbooks I use, I'd be happy to tell you down in the comment section down below. But other than that, what do you guys think? Comment down below what you think of my discussion about my acting school experience. I want to hear what you have to say. And other than that, if you guys really want to know what school I attended to, I'll happy to reply to you which one I attended to. I just think, in my opinion, that it is kind of famous, for some actors, and you guys probably recognize it. But if you guys want to attend to it, my suggestion is like a hit or miss. If you want to, if you don't want to, that's totally up to you. But I'm happy to reply back to you of what school I attended and what books you can buy. I'm gonna say that some of these books are going to be very expensive because these books are very helpful, but at the same time, if you guys really want to read about it, check it out. All right. But other than that, you guys, if you guys really enjoy this video, press that like button. And if you guys are new to my channel, become my Hellfire Club, you need to smash and punch subscribe button. And of course, you guys need to contact me via social media. Check in the description to follow me on my Twitter, my Instagram, my blog posts, my Pinterest, my Discord, my Twitch. And of course, down in the description down below, please check out my beloved husband, Kind Kendra's YouTube channel, you guys. My husband is super talented. He is so funny, unique, and so much entertaining things throughout his channel. But most of all, my husband is super talented when it comes to his drawing and his writing. So please check him out on his blog posts, and of course, please check out my latest, videos when I attended Orlando, Florida, which is a wonderful vacation that is. And of course, check out my latest, audiobook of my husband's story, and of course, my exclusive interview with him. All right, I love you, honey. So this is Hellfire leader Maggie Negan, the Walking Dead Bengal 29 signing off. See you in the next video. Love you, honey. Peace out.